All right, everybody. Hello and welcome to the SICHL's expansion draft for the Seattle Grunge. I am your host, Mike Franceschini, everybody's second favorite deputy commissioner of the best fantasy hockey league in the world, probably, trademark. Sorry, we're just starting with this live stream thing here, so we'll figure it out. Anyway, today is, of course, a very big day for the Seattle Grunge and general manager Phil Lesage, who has been scouring lists of excellent players that everybody exposed and let him pick from in the last couple of weeks. He also worked on a few trades, and today we are going to announce his roster for the very first time. Before we get started, we are going to go over the rules real quick that everybody should remember. Teams, of course, previously submitted lists of protected and exposed players. The most important thing there was the exposed players. Phil and the Grunge will have to select one player, exactly one player, from each team's exposed list. And the Grunge must select a minimum of 3 goaltenders, 8 defensemen, and 15 forwards, with 2 picks left over to do with as he chooses. With that, here we go. From the Acadia Golden Bears, goaltender Jacob Markstrom. From the Banff Rockies, forward Andrew Agazzino. From the Boston Colonials, defenseman Justin Falk. No, not that one. From the Brandon Wheat Kings, forward Sam Gagner. From the Brno Barons, forward Joakim Nordstrom. From the Calgary Mustangs, forward Brian Little. From the Chicago Tigers, forward Marian Gaborik. From the Denver Rapids, forward Riley Shahan. From the Dublin Shamrocks, defenseman Brendan Smith. From the Edmonton Supersonics, goaltender Carter Hutton. From the Fredericton Express, defenseman Joel Edmondson. From the Hamburg Gladiators, with a leg for an arm and an arm for a leg, Greg McKegg, forward. From the Hamilton Steelhawks, forward Tobias Ryder. From the Havana Revolution, forward Cody Eakin. From the Kansas City Crunch, defenseman Xavier Ouellette. From the Las Vegas Aces, defenseman Matt Niskanen. From the London Monarchs, forward Zach Cassian. From the Montreal Millionaires, goaltender Darcy Kemper. From the Nova Scotia Schooners, forward Brad Malone. From the Ottawa Slammers, forward Colton Sissons. From the Philadelphia Fire Ants, defenseman Dmitry Kulikov. From the Reykjavik Riders, forward Kyle Palmieri. From the St. Louis Spartans, forward Uncle Leo Komarov. From the Stockholm Cougars, defenseman John Moore. From the Toronto Metropolitans, forward Bo Bennett. From the Vancouver Vipers, forward Michael Chaput. From the Vancouver Island Norsemen, forward Richard Panik. And lastly, from the Whitehorse Huskies, defenseman Michael Stone. So there's the team. So, of course, in the last couple of weeks, Phil has also had the ability to make trades with everybody in order to protect extra players. And these are the trades that directly affected the selections made today. The first trade was Seattle receiving Edmonton's third pick in 2019 from the St. Louis Spartans in exchange for not selecting Luka Spiza. Seattle selected Leo Komarov. The second trade, Seattle receives Alex Goodbranson, Trevor Moore, Vaclav Karabachek, Nova Scotia's fifth-round pick in 2020, and $1 million from the Nova Scotia Schooners in exchange for selecting Brad Malone in the expansion draft. And finally, Seattle receives Havana's fourth-round pick in 2018 in exchange for selecting Cody Eakin in the expansion draft. There were a handful of other trades that were involved, but they don't directly affect what the players that were picked today. So those will be announced on SSAHL.com either later on tonight or early tomorrow morning when Mark gets around to updating it. Last order of business, Seattle was also able to select their first ever franchise player with they were able to pick from any player, any UFA that was on the UFA list and make them their first ever franchise player. And Phil and the Seattle Grunge are very excited to announce that their first franchise player is Dustin Byfuglien, who has agreed to a 2-year contract worth $6.5 million per season. And that is pretty much the show, folks. Of course, if you guys, we're just trying out this live streaming thing. It seems to be pretty fun. I had a lot of fun doing this. If you guys want to be notified any other time that we're going to do live streams, not that we're not going to email you guys and tell you guys in advance, but if you want to know, be sure to subscribe to the channel and announcements go out that way. Other than that, we will see everybody tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern for the entry draft. Trade away. Have fun, guys.